Alright, greetings and salutations, my friends. It is the end of the year of 2017, and as I've done for the last 2 years, it's time for a year-end retrospective. How many times can I say year? Anyway, as always, I'd like to take the time to thank you all very much for sticking with me through, and the last 2 years I've done this, I've said, like, oh, I'm getting less and less done, and this year it's like, I got, like, nothing done. I got Rido done. I got a 30-episode LP done in a year and a month. Woo. And the only other thing I finished was the old school RuneScape Iron Man streams. And I had a lot more planned this year. I knew I shouldn't plan it, but, you know, I did. And shit got busy. It got very difficult to do anything at the apartment this year, but I moved out of the apartment and I'm back home now, so we don't have to worry about that. I feel like I can get a lot more done now. But, again, I wanted to at least get Soul Hackers done, too. I promised I would get that done last year, and I couldn't. I just couldn't. And I've been sitting on an episode for a while, too, which is weird, but kind of a pain to edit. But, so while I'm here talking about 2017, I'm going to shift gears for a bit because there wasn't much to, well, no. Before we go on with 2018's plans, I'd like to mention a couple things about 2017. First off, my god, channel growth. I started this year with, just shy of I think I was at like 2,800 and now I'm at like 4,200, so, Jesus H. Christ. Amazing. As far as LPs go, I'm doing better than ever, and my god, it's like I'm constantly surprised by the channel growth. And I shouldn't be, because channels should be growing on a regular basis, but seeing it actually happen in real time is like, it's weird. Like, prior to this, my most viewed in like one day, like 24-hour record for video views was like 350 from Rido episode 1. And an episode of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance broke like 1,000 views in the first 24 hours, and I didn't know what to think of that. And then I'm loath to count streams in the 24-hour total because it feels like it's a little off, but if we're counting that, then it was like 1,700 views for a Sacred Stone stream. So, I'm doing pretty well, and Fire Emblem seems to be a good future for my channel, in no small part thanks to Sage's Fire Emblem Hero success, rubbing off on me a bit through him promoting me, and just being as in-depth with his community as I am. Less so now that I left his Discord, but, you know. I'm not here to talk about that. So, I finally started streaming this year. That was nuts. I've been planning that for a long time. Like, 2010 long time. Was it 2010? No, it would have been 2011. Because the very first stream I did, technically, was a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team stream on Twitch. Because I was originally going to stream that series instead of doing an LP of it. Except I didn't really know how to stream, so I managed to get the software to work for like a second. I had like a 5-second video stream without any commentary, me realizing there wasn't any commentary, dropping it, and then not even bothering with streams until last year, where Sages was doing the Monster Hunter Generation streams on YouTube, and I'm like, oh hey, I could do YouTube. That feels easier for me. And it's what I've been doing, so it's all been working out. Especially with the love that the streams are getting. Like, Persona Q did really well for the 2 episodes that have been up for it that I need to get back to. Sacred Stones is doing phenomenally. Dark Cloud is doing much better as a stream series than as an LP series. Just random streams, too. Like, they're all doing really well, and you all seem to really be enjoying them. Viewer interaction is like, wow, through the roof. And I like that a lot. I mean, like, last year when I did this retrospective, it was very somber, very reflecting. 2016 was a very difficult year, and 2017 was difficult in a different way. Whereas 2016 was very emotionally challenging because, like I mentioned, like I went through a very, very difficult relationship period. Hospitalized for issues. Several issues, in fact. I went to the hospital a lot last year. And this year, it hasn't been that kind of difficult, so much as I feel like I've stagnated. Which is kind of difficult to put into emotional feelings and words. Whereas last time, I felt like I was on tears. I feel like I was in tears. Like, on the brink of tears. Throughout the entirety on that, no matter how positive or happy I may have sounded. And with this, it's like... I don't feel like that kind of bad. Like, I don't feel sad. I just feel like I could have done a lot better. I did really well, but I should have done so much better. Which is why I call, I like to give each year, a name for itself. Like 2014 being a year of change is what I called it. And I called 2017 the year of stagnation. And that was partially in tune due to, I'm right about to graduate college. I should have graduated in this spring, but I switched my majors really late, so I had to go for another semester this fall. And me and my advisor fucked up, and I have 2 more classes left, so I do have to go back in the spring. And that info really put a damper on me. It's like, shit, why did I waste all this time in the summer, spring, fall? I put a lot into school this year, and I couldn't do a lot of recording at the apartment because it just wasn't a good environment to record no matter what I did. And all that's changing now because I moved out of the apartment because there's no point in staying up there when I only have 2 classes coming up. It's an hour and a half each way to commute there 2 days a week, but there's a lot I can do there. It's less of a retrospective, more of a... Well, that part was a future planning, so that's the retrospective part. 2017 was a year of fantastic growth, but a year of things I could have done significantly better. 2018, however... In 2016, I said I was loath to promise anything for 2017, and I feel like that resulted in sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I say I can't promise anything, it kind of gave me free rein to just sit there and say, well, I said I couldn't promise anything. And that's not fair, because you all deserve better. So what I'm going to say in 2018 is, fucking buckle up, kids, because 2018 is going to be a big year. And I'm talking a big year. I have a lot to promise, and I'm going to work my damn hardest to keep it up. Because I'd really like to make this a year for you guys. A year that you all can enjoy a hell of a lot. So, what to expect then, huh? Well, I'm not gonna get too deep into what I have in mind, because there are, a couple things I want to save for not just a retrospective and, like, jam too much into one thing and have, some people maybe miss some info. But, I will give a cursory glance over quite a few plans I have, so... January 1st, a couple days after this goes live, I'm going to upload the first episode of The World Ends With You. And I've already recorded 3 of those episodes, and I might go for a 4th today. Not the huge backlog I wanted to make December all about, but December was also very busy, so... Sorry. But The World Ends With You isn't too difficult to record, so I don't feel like, I don't feel like there should be too many delays with that. I announced Steins Gate for some time in January, and I have to see... I might push that one back to February, because I have to see how consistent streaming schedules, not screaming schedules, how consistent streaming schedules work with my LPs. If I have to start uploading more than I do, instead of my usual Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday uploading schedule, I will. Or I'll keep Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and then stream on Wednesday and Saturdays. So we'll see how that goes. So Steins Gate may or may not take a little longer than I was expecting. And Steins Gate is going to be a very big project. I didn't announce how that was going to work, and I feel like I should announce this later as well, but this is going to be a bunch of minor announcements, and I'm going to give bigger announcements to later, so consider yourself privy if you watch this before anyone sees the main ones. So what I'm going to do with Steins Gate is, it's not going to be an LP, so to speak, more of a dramatic reading. It's a visual novel. It's the best way I feel like I can handle it, instead of just quipping over everything. Everything's voiced, except for some lines from the main character, Okabe Rintaro, and every non-voiced line of his, I'm going to voice. I'm considering... I don't want to totally kill his voice, and then, put my voice over that, because, A, it's not that I'm afraid of all that reading, it's... His voice actor is so goddamn good, but, I need your feedback on that. I'm going to do, a couple varieties of the first episode to see what people think. There's going to be 3 varieties of the first episode. There's going to be, one where I leave his voice-acted lines and just commentate, or voice-act his non-commentated lines. One version where I commentate over all his lines. And then one where there is no commentary, and I let the game speak for itself. And that was always the plan. I'm going to have a, each episode is going to have a version where I commentate, and one where I don't. So anyone who wants to experience Steins Gate can experience it the way they want to. It's also, double the views. That's not why I'm doing it, but, it's a nice benefit. So that's how I'm handling Steins Gate. Next thing I want to announce is, I feel a lot more comfortable this year about booting up a Patreon. And, I'm going to have a bigger announcement for that in the middle of January, when I launch the Patreon. But, Patreon, Ko-fi, the little, like, donation site, I'm going to start putting links to those in all of my channel video descriptions. And, if you could chip in, it would be lovely. I'm going to go more into detail again later, but everything that I make from Patreon, no matter what, will just go straight back into the channel. Like, I'm not going to use that money to, like, buy a shitty video game that I'm never going to play on the channel. Like, anything I make from Patreon that's donated from the viewers, 100% goes right back into the channel, no matter what. Again, more info coming in the middle of January, not going to go too deep into that now. So, I have a lot of streams and LPs planned, so there was a while in 2014 where I didn't know what I wanted to do with the channel going forward, but I know what I want to do now. So, after The World Ends With You and Steins Gate, I've got several LPs planned. I need to work on Raito 2, like actually playing it. So that one might get pushed back a little farther, but there's a lot in between. So, including a certain 3DS SMT game that has been a widely requested LP. Look forward to that, fuckos. So, that was about all I wanted to say. So let's talk about Game of the Years in 2017, the same way I did last year. As always, I've got 2 categories: games that I played for games that came out in 2017, and games that I played for the first time in 2017. So, my Game of the Year for 2017 that came out in 2017 is Nier Automata. My god, best action game I've ever played, bar none. The only one of Platinum's games I actually enjoyed, too. It's so good. I don't quite like it as much as Nier and Drakengard 3, but for what it is, it's absolutely fantastic, and I still would have bought a PS4 just for it. I got my PS4 from Sage's, but I would have gladly spent the money to play Nier Automata. And it's one of the, I think it's the only... excuse me, burped. The only $60 game I paid full price for since, Tales of Exilia, which is the game that taught me never to pay full price for $60 games. And it's the first time I've paid $60 for a game like that, and I'm really, I'm happy I did. Now for my Game of the Year that I played for the first time in 2017, a little more recent, it was, Shit. It was Valhalla. Or VA11 Hall A, whatever you want to call it. The cyberpunk bartender action on Steam and PlayStation Vita. Though the Vita port is very recent. I played it on Steam. It's really good. It's got like that really, well, it's cyberpunk, but it's got a nice aesthetic that in the middle of the night, in cold December nights, it's kind of like a homey. Like, I feel like I'm part of the bar. And I believe it's currently on sale on Steam for $10, so get it? If I had the scratch, I would do a giveaway where I gave away 3 copies of it, but I don't, so I won't. And, as far as, like, second and third place for just, like, this year, most likely Persona 5 was really good. Having a lot of fun with Yakuza 0 right now. I haven't even played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet, even though I just got it for Christmas. But I also got Yakuza 0, and I started playing that, and I haven't been able to put it down. So that's pretty fun. I really liked Xenogears. I liked the idea of Xenogears. I don't like the execution so much, just because I hate random encounters, and the random encounter rate in Xenogears is a little bullshit. But I love the story. I love the second disc a hell of a lot, because I didn't have to deal with bullshit random encounters so much. So, I like Xenogears. And Doki Doki Literature Club. I didn't expect to get as into that as I did. Well, that should be about it. As always, I'm going to choose a game to put this, choose a game to get some video footage for this audio, so it's not just you listening to me on a blank screen. I don't know what game I'm going to choose yet, but I tend to get them pretty quickly, so this should be up by, at the very latest, the 29th. Well, this is about it. Thank you all so much for joining me in 2017. For everyone who's came along, all, like, 1,400 of you, welcome to the squad. I'm happy to have you here, and I really hope you enjoy the future. For those who have been here since, 2013 or so, which is my real great awakening, thank you so much for sticking with me this long. And for the few people that might still be here from the very beginning, thank you so goddamn much. Thank all of you so goddamn much for not just making the channel a great thing, but for giving my life purpose where I didn't have it before. I went into college for electronic media and film because of YouTube. Audiovisual editing is something I could see doing as a job. And I've rapidly learned that YouTube alone wasn't quite enough. I've improved, and I'd like to improve even more further because I feel like you all deserve it. And for those who have been here since very early on, 2010, 2011, I've got something very special coming back that I've been promising for, I don't want to say I've been promising it for 6 years now, because I promised it and then kind of dropped the promise, but, for the first time, I'd like to bring something back, and thus also finish what I started. So I feel like people will vastly enjoy that, so right at the Dark Cloud's done. So, thank you all for joining me. I hope your 2017 went well. It was a very difficult year. Very, very difficult year. And I know a lot of people share that sentiment with me. But we're here. We're still here from last year, aren't we? If we survived every crappy year leading up to this, I think we can survive another one. And another one. Another one. I want to say, let's be positive in 2018, boys. Do your best. Just, no matter what your passion is, get a sketch out each day, so to speak. If you like art, draw one thing a day. If you like recording video games, at the very least, try to get some commentary practice in once a day, if possible. Push yourself. At the very least, you just want to make sure those muscles don't atrophy, you know? That's a lot of info that I feel like I need to put into practice this year, so... Like I said, I feel like 2018 is going to be a very good year for the channel. and I hope to God it's good for me personally, and I hope to God it's good for you personally. So, as I've said for the 1000th time in this video, thank you all very much. And I hope you have a very happy rest of 2017. And let's push through 2018 strong.